Philip Douthett, the men's marriage mentor here. I help men renew their failing marriages while creating a meaningful legacy. And if that's what you're looking to do, then you're definitely going to want to take notes on today's video. And if you found this information that you're going to learn today to be valuable, be sure to share this video and click the like and subscribe button so that you get the notifications of other videos that I release. Before we get into the video, be sure to stick around to the end where I reveal the details on how you can join me in my free training that walks you through how to renew your failing marriage by doing the right things at the right time in the right order, even if your situation feels completely hopeless right now. So be sure to stick around to the end for that announcement. And just so you know what to expect here, this video that you're about to watch was a training that I did inside of my private group that is directly related to the title of today's video. So get ready to take notes, then apply what you learn so that you can get the results that you desire. So with no further delay, let's get to it. A lot of you guys are in the situation where it's make or break right now, where you guys need to have this intervention or this coming to Jesus terms. I've heard that before, where you need to wake up and need to understand that if you knew what to do to renew your relationship, you would have done it already, but most of you have no damn clue what you're doing. Most of you are just throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping something will stick. How's that working for you? It doesn't actually work, does it? It doesn't actually do anything. Spinning your wheels, going nowhere, hoping and praying that things are going to work, doesn't actually renew the relationship. So for some of you, you want to do what? Make your wife dinner, pick up the kids, rub her feet, tell her she looks pretty, buy her flowers, all this superficial shit, but it doesn't actually renew the relationship, does it? No. See, the renewal process of a relationship is very, very specific. And it's not something that we're taught in school. It's not something that we're taught in life, really. It's not a very common sense type of thing, okay? You see, there's a process, a step-by-step process that I talk about inside my programs where you have to go through, and the first step you have to understand is, look, it starts with you, right? It starts with you renewing yourself as a man first, because you have to lead the relationship towards what? Reconciliation, right? So if you're going to lead the relationship towards reconciliation, which is what I did when my wife served me with divorce papers, I finally realized that the only person that could renew the relationship was me. Could I have done it without the pain that I went through? Maybe. I don't know. Didn't go down that road. But because I went through the pain that I did, it took me 13 months. 13 months, a little over a year, to renew my relationship. Some of you don't have that kind of time, right? Some of you are in the divorce process now. So if that's the case for you, what are you going to do? Continue spinning your wheels, going nowhere, hoping that something will just magically fall in your lap? Because here's the thing. I am not a counselor. I am not a therapist. I am not a priest. I am not a pastor. I am not none of that shit. What am I? Well, quite honestly, I'm a businessman that solves problems. I'm a problem solver. That's what I do. And you guys have the problem of your relationship falling apart. I have the solutions and I offer them, and there's a financial cost to them. Yes, there is, okay? But here's the thing. So many men, and I battle this quite often, so many men have been taught through traditional thought processes, parents, grandparents, whatever, siblings sometimes, that the way to renew a relationship is through counseling and or therapy. Here's the stats. The stats are true. You can look them up. They are 100% true. That you still have over a 70% over 70% chance of getting a divorce, even after going through counseling and or therapy. How is that a success rate that is worth following? Okay. So many men think that, oh my God, I'm going to bank all of my relationship. I'm going to bank my entire relationship, everything that I'm doing within my relationship, my marriage, everything I'm banking on what? one conversation with a therapist or a counselor. You think that one session or meeting, whatever, or call, whatever the case may be, it's just going to just poof, like pop, and everything's going to go back to normal or the way that it was or better than it was before. It just doesn't work that way. But I see so many men with that thought process. I really do. And it drives me batshit crazy because I find myself saying, look, if that's the way you think, you're fucked. Straight up, you're fucked. Your relationship, see ya, is gone. Your relationship is gone. If you think that banking all of the pain and heartache and issues that you've been going through with your wife on some therapy session or counselor, it's not going to help you. That's why I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. I'm none of that shit. Okay? I'm not going to listen to your whining, complaining, and then I'm not going to sit back and, twiddle my thumbs and say, well, how does that make you feel? Or I'm not going to sit there in a chair and be like, well, tell me about your childhood. Like, what the fuck? Seriously, like, here's the thing. I don't care about the past. I care about what are you doing now in the present to impact the future. Because it's not about what happened. It's about what you do next. That is the most important thing you can do. What you do next is the most important thing. Not what happened in the past. What you do next. How you respond, not react. How you respond to what has happened in an effort to improve the future. That's what this is about. And I'm going to say something here that's going to throw a lot of you for a loop. A lot of you think that, I've been changing. I actually read this. There was a guy that scheduled a call with me. And in his application for the call, he said, I've been changing a lot. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to read this out loud. I'm changing everything I can to get back to what it was and needs to be and what it can be. Okay, so what he's saying is I've changed everything I can to get back to where the relationship was, so that it's back to a loving point. So here's the thing. This was my point with this. When you try to change yourself, your relationship, change feels and looks in the eyes of a woman to be fake. It feels fake. You're making all these changes. Changes, they don't feel authentic. It's inauthentic. And that's why I'm very, very specific in the words that I use and the point that I make when men go through my programs, that it's about evolving and improving and advancing yourself. Okay? It's not about changing, because changing feels fake. Just ask your wife. If you make all these changes, it's something totally new. Thing is, it's going to kind of shock your wife. She's going to be like, well, what is this? It feels fake. It doesn't feel like the man that I know, the man that I married. It just doesn't feel real. It feels kind of fake. It feels inauthentic. And that's where a lot of you guys are feeling your wives right now. It feels inauthentic. So it's not about changing what's going on. It's not about changing who you are. It's about improving, advancing, and evolving who you are as a man, improving yourself in all areas of your life, and how they bleed over into your marriage. But guess what? A lot of the tools that I use, or I teach men how to use inside my program, I use those tools as well, myself, personally. It helps me to stay present. It helps me to think clearly. So, I mean, it's like I say, it's not about just renewing the relationship. Because if any one of you thinks that, all my life is great and, the only thing missing is my marriage, you're full of shit. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to me. You're just a fat fucking liar. Period. End of story. Like, you're lying to everyone, including yourself. It's not about renewing your relationship. It's about improving yourself as a man, as a husband, and as a father. And you cannot improve just one of those three. You have to work on improving, advancing, and evolving all three areas. Man, husband, father. Period. End of story. That's it. If you think you can just compartmentalize every aspect, segment every aspect of your life into, specific boxes or cubbies or whatever, you're full of shit. You have no idea what you're doing. You're fooling yourself. Wake up. Because it won't work. I promise you that. So many of you are in the situation that you're in because you've made a lot of mistakes in life, and a lot of these decisions and mistakes that you've made have bled over into other areas of your life. And for most of you, maybe not most of you, but for some of you, maybe you're struggling with finances. And like I said, one of my favorite shows is Restaurant Impossible. And Robert Irvine had a quote on that show, and I'm going somewhere with this, so pay attention. Robert Irvine had a quote on the show, and he said that his mother said this to him: when poverty comes knocking, love goes out the window, or something like that. And so his point was, these restaurants that he goes there to help renew and save these restaurants, when the restaurant is losing $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 a month, whatever the case may be, you have poverty knocking on the window, right? And it's coming in slowly. It's coming in, and it's impacting the whole relationship, right? And then love goes out the window because you're too busy fighting to keep the lights on, keep the roof over your head, whatever the case may be. And so, for me, I was in that situation as well, myself, for a little while when we were married. We were married pretty young. The poverty aspect was kind of bleeding into our relationship, and it was really, really impacting both of us in a lot of ways. My point is, like, when you come together with a unified goal in mind, and that's what my wife and I had, and we went through the process of renewing our relationship, which I walk men through inside my Men's Marriage Mastery program. If you put that into action, the thing is, you can greatly, greatly increase the chances of renewing their relationship. It's not 70% failure rate like you have with therapy and counseling, traditional therapy and counseling, right? So, it's much higher than that, by the way. Proud to say, yeah. But nonetheless, if you feel like you have poverty knocking on the window and love is going out the door, right? Thing is here, I hate to say it, it's just an excuse. It's literally just an excuse. If you have a will, you have a way. And I had a will, my wife and I had a will, and we were like, we're going to make this work. We went through the renewal process. I break it all down. Does it take 13 months like it took for me? No. I break it down into just a couple of months, but you know what? You have money or time. That's my point. You have money or time. To me, time is a much more valuable resource. I will pay more money any day of the week to shorten the time frame to get something done. And when you're connected and you feel that love between one another, which like I said, I teach you how to do inside my programs, nothing is impossible. Like, we have a will, we're going to find a way. And for some of you, I'm calling you out on your bullshit. That's my point here. I'm calling you out on your bullshit. You have an excuse as to why something won't work, or you have an excuse as to why you can't do something, right? I actually spoke to a guy. He got really pissed off and hung up on me, and I'm kind of glad he did. He said, I bought a brand new 2021 Super Duty, Ford Super Duty. He said, I lifted it 4 inches, and I got a special tonneau cover, and I tinted the windows, and I blacked out the taillights, put it, all this shit that he's done to his truck. And he says, yeah, I pay like $720 a month for my truck, and I put new wheels and tires on it, I financed those, and blah, 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 blah. What's a 2021 Super Duty cost? I don't know. 70 grand, 60, 70,000 bucks. But when I challenged him on that, we had the conversation. He was like, man, I've been reading the reviews of your program. Like, so many men have had great success with it. I'm really impressed. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. I'm all in. I talked to him about it. I talked to him about, all the features and the benefits of the program and everything that's involved. But at the end of the day, at the end of the call, we're like an hour in, I told him, the price of the program, which is far less than any part that he has on his truck and far less than a divorce. And he's like, oh man, it's just a lot. And I'm just like, really? Really? You put $2,900 or something like that into the lift of his truck. I was like, dude, my program is less than that. But you will finance your wheels and your tires and your lift on your truck, but you won't commit to renewing your relationship. I just had a heart-to-heart with him. I was straight up with him. He got pissed off and hung up. But here's the thing. I attacked his ego, and his ego is what's keeping him stuck. His ego is what's keeping his relationship in a storm, right? There's no healing right now happening in his relationship. So he's putting a Band-Aid on the pain by trying to buy things that make him feel better about himself. It's that kind of insecurity. It's that type of, lack of vision that's going to keep him stuck forever. It's shallow. And that's a very piss poor legacy in the eyes of others. Would I want my kids to say, lost the relationship, I lost my father over a car? Really? Or a truck? Really? Some of you say, yeah, your wife can be replaced, just get another pussy, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Maybe. You can go that way. Sure. But, are you going to make the argument and say, I can replace my truck, or I can, replace my vehicle, but you never replace your wife? Well, that may be true too. But where's your priorities? Are you more focused on losing your vehicle and yourself in your sense of pride and ego? Or do you want to remain married to your wife? You have to set aside your ego sometimes. For most of you, you have to set aside your ego. I had to, damn straight I had to. I sure as hell had to set aside my ego to renew my marriage. That's my point here, guys. You have to set aside your ego in order to renew the relationship. So, for you, all of you who are bitching and moaning and complaining, that, I can't afford the help. I can't afford therapy. Here's the thing. They're just excuses to me. It's just an excuse. You can stay married to that excuse, or you can, like I said earlier, find a way. If you have the will, you can find the way. So do you have the will? Are you willing to find the way? You tell me. Or stay stuck where you are. Go read another $6 book. Try to piece it all together. Listen to some more podcasts. Watch some more YouTube videos. Try to piece it all together, and 3, 4, 6, 12 months down the road, you're divorced. Because you didn't act fast enough. You didn't know what to do, when to do it, how to do it, why you're doing it. And shit hit the fan. So, some of you, like I said, you have the right ingredients, but you don't know when to apply the ingredients. And most of you, like 99.9% of you, don't have all the ingredients. Because there are some little things. You might have the big pieces, but you don't have the little things that make the biggest differences. It's about doing little things in great ways. That's going to renew the relationship long term. I say that a little bit differently inside my program. I'm not going to say how, but it's something along those lines. Because there's the little things that you have to do right and do them correctly and do them at the right time during the renewal process of the marriage in order to turn things around. For some of you, you're going to be saying, well, what if my wife doesn't want to participate in the renewal process of the relationship? Guess what? I would refer to you as a solo soldier. So a solo soldier is a man who is fighting alone to save his failing marriage. Fighting alone, solo soldier, right? So for you, the biggest fight, the biggest battle you have in the renewal process of your relationship begins with you. Look at yourself in the mirror. The biggest battle, the biggest fight you have is with you, your damn self. You have to get yourself right. Heart, soul, head. You have to get all this right. If you are to renew the relationship, you have to renew yourself first. We've all heard the analogy, you have to put the oxygen mask on first when you're flying on an airplane, right? Take that deep breath, right? So once you have the oxygen mask on, you're strong enough to help others around you. So if you don't take care of yourself first, and some of you are going to say, oh, it sounds selfish. Fuck off. You have no idea what you're talking about if that's the case. It's not selfish. Taking care of yourself gives you the tools, the strength, the power, the insight to help others around you, your family, your marriage, right? But if you are degrading yourself while helping others, that's not actually helping other people very well. That's not effective. If you have to work long hours just to earn a little bit of money to support your family, you think that you're doing the noble thing, really? But in reality, you're taking away the most valuable thing, which is time away from your family, just to earn a little bit of money. Because your family doesn't want money. Your family wants time, connection, love, conversations, not a little bit of money. Money can be replaced anytime. Money is easy. It comes, it goes, it flows, whatever. You can always make more. Not a big deal. And that's my point here, guys, is that if you want to have more time with your life, your family, your children, and build your legacy much stronger, then yes, there is something that you have to contribute to the relationship in order to get that help. I just covered a lot of great information that will help you to renew both yourself and your marriage. And I hope that you put everything that you just learned into practice, because that's the only way that you're going to get results. But there is so much more that you can do, and I'm going to cover all of that in my free training that walks you through how to renew your marriage, even if your wife has told you that there's nothing that you can do to change her mind. So if you'd like to learn the specific strategies and methods that thousands of my clients have used and continue to use to renew their failing marriages and create a meaningful legacy, then click the link below, watch that free training, and then feel free to submit an application after that. Also, be sure to click the link to access my private Facebook group, where you can get support and connect and even learn from a community of men who are also struggling to keep their failing marriages together. And when you join, I'll even send you a free copy of my latest ebook. And if you like what you heard today and you want more content like this from me, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and be sure to comment below with any questions or tell me whatever it is that you found to be the most helpful. And like I mentioned before, click the link below for that free training that I mentioned earlier. I'm Philip Douthett, the Men's Marriage Mentor, and I'll see you on the next video.